Welcome to Learning Arduino for Beginners, Episode 30, RFID Readers. Now what I have here is a RFID reader. This is the RFID-RC522. This is a very common RFID reader that can be found on eBay and Amazon, and they're very inexpensive, and they do generally come with a couple these little key fobs or these little credit card versions, whichever you decide to order with your RFID reader. Generally they come with one or two, so it just depends if you want the cards or the key fobs, and some of them you can get like one or two of each with. Now I have this set up just with an LED, but you could use this, what they're used for a lot is like using with a solenoid lock to unlock a door, entry door. You can also use them with a relay to turn lights off and on. If you didn't want somebody just to be able to use a key to turn them off and on, you could use an RFID card. We'll go over how it's wired up in a minute. I'm going to demonstrate it first. Now I have the LED. I've got a 3-color RGB, and when a RFID card that's good, that's programmed, the numbers are programmed into it, it'll turn green like that. And if you use an RFID card that is not programmed into it, it turns red. So normally just imagine if you had a good one, instead of turning the LED green, you would just have it activate a relay or a solenoid. Alright, and when we get over to the sketch here in just a moment, I'll show you how we read the cards, and some of these you can actually get where you can rewrite the numbers that are on them, but the cheap ones, usually they're just set, and I'll show you how you scan them to get the numbers, and then we'll go through the sketch that I have set up for this on how to put them in so you can have stuff open, close, or turn off and on. Alright, now to set this up, the card reader itself actually works on 3.3 volts, the logic and the voltage. And I have seen people make the mistake, they're hooking these directly up to their Arduino, running them on 5 volts. Now it will work for a while, but what will happen is after a few hours of use, if you even get that much, it'll stop working, because what happens is you burned it out. It is meant to run on 3.3 volts, not 5. So what we are doing is using a logic level converter. This is the easiest way. You could try running a bunch of voltage dividers, but this is just going to simplify it. This is an 8-channel, and we're only using 5 of the channels, and these are extremely cheap. They're under $1. Usually you order them, I'd buy several because you'll get a better deal. If you buy just one, it's probably going to be more than $1 because they got to figure in the shipping as well. When I buy mine, I usually buy a dozen or better, and I use them for all kinds of things. So for connecting this up, use the logic level converter. Now for how the wires go where, look in the description below, and you'll find a link to this project's website, and I have a schematic down there that tells you what wires to hook up to what for the Arduino Uno or the Nano. It'll work the same with either. And in the libraries that come with this, at the top, the header of them, it usually has the pinouts for if you're using Megas or other boards. It'll tell you on there which ones to use. But if you're using an Uno or a Nano, just go ahead and go to the website. You'll find it in the description below, and I'll have a full schematic drawn up on how to hook this up. So, alright, well, with that, I guess we can just go over to the computer. And what we'll do first is we're going to bring up in the examples, there's the reader for this that'll tell us the numbers on the cards. So I'll catch you over there in just a moment, and we'll take a look at how we scan our RFID cards. Okay, I've got the Arduino IDE opened up here. Now the first thing we're going to need is a library for this. So if you don't already have it, what you're going to want is the MRFC 522 library. And to find that, here it is right here, MFRC 522. That's what you're going to want to type in. So what you'll do is just go to Sketch, include libraries, go under Manage Libraries. Take it a second to come up, and then right here, I'm not going to wait for this to finish, but right here in the search, just put that RFMC or RC522, type that in right here, and it'll bring it up, and then you can just install the library. right, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. All right, well, once you have the library, then you'll want to go open up your IDE, and then you'll want to go under examples. You'll find it right here, the MFRC 522, and then we want to go up and let's see, where right here, read NUID. You want to use this one. Now, some people use the dump info one. You can use that as well, but it gives you a bunch of info you don't really need for this. We just want the card's ID number, so we can use that. And I actually already got that brought up here. Now, you're not going to want to do anything to the sketch except upload it to your Arduino. So I'm going to go ahead and click upload. If you change anything on this, it's not going to work. All right, it's done uploading. Now I'm going to open up the serial monitor. Drag that in here so we can see it. Now I'm going to take one of my key fobs and put it over it, and right there it scanned it. Now I'm going to do another one to show you. This is actually the credit card one, and these are the numbers you want right here. For that first one, the key fob, it's C08E3F52. So you're going to want to write those numbers down. Don't worry about the spaces. And this is the other one. This is for the credit card one, A2058BAB. So you scan your cards and write those numbers down. These are the numbers that you're going to want that are associated with the key fobs or credit cards that you want to be able to activate your Arduino. So to either open the lock or turn the LED on, however you're going to be using it. Once you've scanned all of those and wrote them down, or you could just keep that serial monitor window open when you switch over. But next we're going to want to go, and for this next sketch, go to the website and you'll find it, because this I went through and rewrote a bunch of one of the examples and took out the stuff we didn't need and added some things that weren't there. So just go look in the description below, go to the website. You'll find this sketch on there. You can just copy it and paste it right in your Arduino IDE. So we have here, well, with most of this, you're not going to really want to change anything. So we're, of course, including our library for the card reader and library for the SPI. Don't change any of this, okay? Now, up in the setup here, this is the only thing you're really going to want to change. These are those numbers right here for the RFID cards. Now, I have this set up right now for 2. You could add an unlimited amount. You just copy this, and on the next one, it would just be a 3 here. Like this one's 1, this one's 2, and then you put your card numbers over here. Now, as you see, you don't have to use uppercase letters. You can use the lowercase. I actually haven't even tried uppercase. I don't know if it would affect it or not, but you can just put the lowercase letters in, and you don't have to put the spaces in. So like it says right here, the comment, add as many as you need. You could literally add 100 of these if you wanted to. It's going to work perfectly fine. I'm sure at some point, like probably 1,000 or something, it might start slowing this down and not working right. But I mean, you could easily put 20, 30 RFID card numbers in here and you're not going to have any problems. Next, I'm just simply defining here for the LED I have. And I also have an optional relay set up right now. The relay is actually not hooked up. What it would do is when the green LED comes on, which means the correct RFID key has been passed in front of it, it would activate the relay so you could open the door, and then it turns off right away. You can do, I'll show you down here in a moment, you could change this to where it would like stay on. So if you wanted to turn lights on. Otherwise, in the void setup, don't really want to mess with any of this. You don't really need to have the serial on here. I think I had this on for testing and I forgot to take it out, so you don't really need that. You can leave it in, and it ain't going to do anything or slow it down or anything. Then we're just setting our pin modes, so whatever you have on there, if you have LEDs, relays, whatever, just make sure set your output, set down your pin modes to output. Then again, don't touch any of this. Now we have our void open lock. Now this is what happens when a good card is scanned. So it tells it to open, and what we're doing is we're turning the green LED on. We're writing the relay high, then we're delaying for 5 seconds, then we're turning the LED off, and then we're turning the relay off. So that would be for opening the door. Now you could change this to whatever if you wanted to turn lights on or off. just put that in there. You can change this. Now for the void loop, you're not going to want to change any of this. None of this, none of this, none of this. Right down here, this is if it reads and the card is not one that is scanned in. Then what it's doing is it's just turning the red LED on for 2 seconds to tell you it's an invalid card. You don't have to have that. You can get rid of it if you don't want it. I just put it in there. It's adds a nice little feature to it, so it's up to you. And that's it. Like I said, all of this stuff in here, don't mess with any of it or it's not going to work. You will also, though, you will have to add right here RFID card number 1, number 2. If you have a 3rd or 4th or 5th, what you do is you just copy that chunk of code. So that would be this right here. You would copy this, then paste it down below, duplicate it, and then for your next one, you would change this number to 3. The one after that, you change it to 4, to 5. That's all you have to do. Just copy, paste, and change that number. Nothing else in there. If you were only using one card, you can go ahead and delete that. Same thing up here on your string. You could delete that. That's all there is to it. So, all right. Well, I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. I do try to get back to people. Sometimes I miss them, so if I don't feel bad. You can always try me on Facebook. I do check that fairly often as well. But all right, with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us here today. I hope you have a great day, and remember, have fun building.